Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Adaptive with Piyush. I'm Piyush Rade, your host on this channel. And today's episode, we will explore user stories. So stay tuned. Okay, you're on the other side, which means you want to know what user stories are and why we use them. So let's get started. Why user stories? Think about a shape. What shape comes to your mind? A square, a circle, a rectangle, or something else? Well, a single line statement can be interpreted in so many different ways. Think about your requirement. When a business stakeholder or a product owner writes down the requirement, multiple line requirements, and hands it over to a developer, how many different variations can be there? Each developer may take that requirement, read it, and interpret it in their own way, with their own experiences, perspectives, and biases. Result: the outcomes often did not meet the expectations of the business stakeholders. And this was one of the common challenge with written requirements. How do we overcome this challenge? And that is where user stories come into picture. What are user stories? The extreme programming team decided to come up with requirements in a different approach. A simple, minimal but sufficient requirement that will create a common understanding between the business stakeholders and the developers. When people at Extreme Programming experimented with user stories, they came up with a basic syntax. As a persona, I want a feature so that I can get a value. This was a minimal but sufficient requirement that can get a conversation started between the product owner or business stakeholders and the engineering team, the developers. Through this conversation, often the business people and the engineering folks, they used to come to a common understanding about what exactly this requirement means. This common agreement is also known as confirmation or acceptance criteria. Here is an example of a user story. Card. As a customer, I want to log in so that I can change my password. This is called as a card. This minimal but sufficient information can get a conversation started between the developers and the product owner. What kind of conversation? Getting more details about the requirement. For example, developers may ask the product owner, "Hey product owner, you're asking us to create a login functionality. How should we allow login? Should it be multi-factor authentication? Or should it be single sign-on?" Product owner may answer that. Product owner may say, "I would want a multi-factor authentication," which may further lead to another question stating, what kind of multi-factor authentication do we need to build? Should it be based on Microsoft Authenticator or should it be OTP driven? Let's say product owner says it has to be OTP driven. Then next question might come. Should this OTP be sent to an email or SMS? And product owner may further answer that question. As a result, both product owner and developers may come to a common understanding about what exactly needs to be done when we are trying to establish a login screen. And this final understanding is known as confirmation, also called as the acceptance criteria. This pretty much sums up what a user story is and why we are using it. I hope this video helps. If you found the content useful, do share it with your friends and colleagues. And do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more such content. Hit that bell icon to be notified of the newest content on the channel. Signing off.